Hello everyone. Today we will talk about business analysis core concept model. And when I say this specific term, it actually helps a business analyst to dwell into the fundamental, but also help him or her to look at the requirement from various dimensions. So when you look at the core concept model, it can be seen as two triangles merging each other. So it essentially has 6 dimensions or 6 edges. Let's talk about each one of them one by one. The first one is need. A need is problem or opportunity to be addressed for any product or solution that you are currently working in. There should be a strong need, or there should be an opportunity that an organization is trying to get hold of. So it can be a regulatory need, it can be a financial need, it can be a need to stay in the market, it can be competitive need. So as a business analyst, it's important to understand what's the need, and that will help you to understand the requirement, to analyze it, to estimate the requirement, to elaborate it in a much better way. As soon as you understand the need, the second dimension to understand is what's the change. What is the act of transformation in response to the need? It can be a product, it can be a solution, it can also be deployment of resources, for example, money or people. Just to give an example, your company has a need to develop a website. Now, in response to this need, the act of transformation or the change could be your senior manager or the boss decide to have an allocated team to develop this website. This will cost the money in terms of resources. It can also be possible that it requires some restructuring in the existing setup. The third dimension is the solution. So it's a specific way to satisfy one or more need in a given context. Now, once you have this team to develop a website, they need to come up with a solution. It can be a static website, it can be dynamic website, it can also be possible to be built on various technologies. It can also be possible that it's an internal site altogether at the beginning. So solution is something that essentially satisfies the need in a specific way. So first we talked about the need, then the change, and then the solution. The next dimension the business analyst need to understand is the stakeholders. So they are the individuals or group in relation to the need, change, or in respect to the solution. And it might be possible that you are only dealing with one of them at a time or all of them. But to have a broader context will help you understand the overall need much better. The next dimension is the value. So it stands for the worth or the importance or the usefulness that your solution is providing to the end customer or to the stakeholder. As I mentioned at the beginning, you can have a website. Now the value it is giving is it is helping the customer base for the organization to grow with its branding, because now customers can actually communicate through the website. They can also see the testimonials. They can also see the use cases, the case studies, the white papers of the organization. And last but not the least, the context. So it's important to understand the context in which the solution is being developed. This will help you to understand the various constraints. This will help you to understand what can influence the solution. It can also help you to understand providing what level of value can be provided at the end. So if we take our example of website, so the context could be this website should abide with GDPR. GDPR stands for General Data Protection Regulation in European countries, and this website should abide with this GDPR regulation, which essentially means it should not hold data for long duration of its various users. Now, this is the context. This is the constraint. This requirement has to be there in the website that you are developing. So with this, now you will have a better mindset to build the entire solution. So in summary, there are 6 dimensions: the need, the change, the solution, why we need it, the change, the act of transformation, the solution, you have stakeholder, the value, and then the context. Now let's look at them, how they fit together with the agile principles that we have talked in the previous video. If you have not looked at that video, I highly recommend to look at the agile principle video, because that will give you a better understanding of these agile principles which are applicable to a business analyst. Let's talk about the need. When we talk about the need, it's essentially a problem or opportunity to be addressed. And in this case, the agile principle that is applicable is get real using examples, which essentially means rather than talking theoretically, you need to demonstrate the need using a POC, using a case study, using a small setup, so that it can be then made into a business case. Second is the change, the act of transformation in response to the need. Now this is applicable to all the 7 agile principles that we have learned in the previous video. The third one is solution. So as we discussed, solution is a specific way in which the team, organization, or an individual satisfy the need. And in this, the agile principle that is applicable the most is simulate collaboration and continuous improvement. As we talked in the previous video as well, one of the idea of agile methodology is continuous improvement and doing it iteratively. Or the next dimension is of stakeholder. These are the people or individual who are associated with need, with solution, or with the change, and with whom the business analyst act on a regular basis. The agile principle applicable in this case is thinking as a customer. So when you think as a customer, you can get into the shoes of a stakeholder. The next one is value. Value is nothing but the importance or the significance that the solution brings in for the various stakeholders in a given context. The agile principle that is applicable in this case is avoid waste, because when you avoid waste, you indirectly create value. You already make sure that you don't deliver something that is not useful. And second is get real using example, which essentially means when you don't talk theoretically but deliver something in, say, production or to the end customers, then it generates value for the entire organization. And the last one is the context. So are the circumstances in which the solution is being developed or the solution is being influenced. The agile principle that you need to take care in this particular case is see as a whole. So when you look everything from the system point of view, that gives you the entire context. I hope you get an understanding on business analysis core concept model. And if somebody asks me, what's the one thing that I like the most in this agile mindset section of Agile Analysis Certification, this one is the most important thing. And this is the most interesting thing I found out. If you have already understood the concept, now it's time to test your knowledge with some questions. So let's get into it. Question 1. In case business analysis core concept model need refers to the act of transformation in response to a requirement, problem, or opportunity to be addressed, a specific way of satisfying one or more requirement in a context, or the circumstances that are influenced by and provide understanding of the change. So the correct answer is problem or opportunity to be addressed. So as we just said, the act of transformation in response to the requirement is the change. Option C is the solution. Option D is the context, the circumstances that influence and provide understanding of change. Question 2. Hitesh is trying to map an agile principle with stakeholder in the business analysis core concept model. If you were in place of Hitesh, which of the following agile principle you will choose? Will think as a customer, think as a management consultant, think as an influencer, or simulate collaboration and continuous improvement? The right answer to this question is think as a customer. As we just said, stakeholders are the individuals or the group that influence the need, change, or the solution. And the agile principle that is applicable for this is thinking as a customer. Thinking as a management consultant or as an influencer is not an agile principle for business analyst, and simulate collaboration and continuous improvement is not applicable in this case. Question 3. Rahul is a business analysis practitioner. He is driving a product solution for his team. What does change mean as per business analysis core concept model? The act of transformation in response to a need, specific way of satisfying one or more need in a context, the problem or opportunity to be addressed, the circumstances that are influenced by and provide understanding of the change. This should be straightforward. So the right answer is the act of transformation in response to a need. As we just said, the specific way of satisfying need is solution, the problem or opportunity is the need, and the last one, the circumstances that influence are the context. So in this video, we talked about the business analysis core concept model and its 6 dimensions: the need, change, solution, stakeholder, context, and value, and also understood its applicability with agile principle. In the words of Michael Dell, you don't need an expert, you just need a framework that will help individuals to drive the solution best in the market. And I strongly believe that if you understand this business analysis core concept model, it will help you to drive your solution as a business analyst, as a product owner in a much better way. With this, I say thank you to you for listening. I see you next time, and in the next video we will talk about the various agile techniques that a business analyst can use in order to understand the requirement, evaluate it, estimate it, produce a better solution and a product. It will be an exciting video, and I hope to see you next time. And until then, thank you very much and all the best for your future.